and emphasized this issue of struggling to determine what is the true church. And his own personal experience of his family was a model of that, and how he brought up Methodists. They're all brought up Methodist, but in time, each with a conversion, an adult conversion to Jesus, founded in other traditions, all of which coming from different angles and wondering which is true. And even though now their family is very much back together in love and acceptance, still this issue loomed and formed a big part of his journey. And I thought about that, and I think, there's many reasons why we see so many converts today. In our work in the Coming Home Network, a week doesn't go by when we aren't contacted by 2 or 3 new Protestant ministers that are considering becoming Catholic. Now, hear me again. 2 or 3 new Protestant ministers are contacting the Coming Home Network every week. In the last 10 years, we've seen Protestant clergy converts from over 60 different denominations in America, not just mainline Anglican, Methodist, Lutheran, Presbyterian. We're seeing them from Assembly of God, Church of Christ, independent churches, Protestant. What is causing this rise in interest, especially in the last 50 years? I do believe one of the main reasons is the media and the witness of EWTN on television and radio and internet and cable. The increase of Catholic books that bring the witness of the church to so many tapes, audio tapes and videos like Glen's videotape. But there's another issue that I find fascinating. It's a sociological issue. Because if you and I were to go back about 100, 150 years, you would find that people in general were loyal to their tradition for life. If they were baptized Methodist, they stayed Methodist all their life. They were baptized Catholic, baptized Lutheran. They would live and die that faith, and would avoid the possibility of changing because they would feel they would be cursing or denying their ancestry. I remember going to seminary with men who were becoming Baptist or Presbyterian ministers because their father and grandfather and great-father had all been ministers before. This is the way it was 100 and 150 years ago. But things changed in the mid-50s, 60s. This loyalty seemed to be lost for a variety of reasons. And as I said earlier, when I was a minister with new members classes, every 4 months when I led the new members class, there would be people from other traditions, ex-Episcopalians and Methodists and Lutherans. People, when they move to another town, don't always pick the church they came from. They look around with all these other criteria. And one of the reasons I believe that this has opened our eyes to so many converts is that now people are looking outside of their original tradition. They're not only seeing Methodism, they're starting to see Baptist and Congregational and Presbyterian, Episcopalian, and they're wondering, why the confusion if we're all based on one Bible? And that, as Glen said earlier, is because God instituted the guide to the Scriptures through Christ as He appointed the apostles and gave them the Holy Spirit as the guide to what is true. The church was given to us as that interpreter. When we turn our back on the church, we end up with confusion. We turn back to the church, we hear the guide of the inspiration of the Spirit. I hope this episode of Journey Home has been an inspiration. God bless you. I look forward to seeing you again next week.